What's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at TP-Link's BE10000 wireless Wi-Fi 7 mesh system, and this is one of the easiest setups that I've actually gone through. I can't stress enough how easy and simple it is to set it up. If you know how to use one of these, you're going to set up in literally 5 minutes or less. You'll be up and running and surfing the web, watching your favorite JabberTech YouTube videos. I'll leave some links to this down in my description, as well as some other routers that I've covered. If you're in the market for a new router though, the BE10000 is as fast as you're going to get when it comes to a mesh system. But let's go ahead and talk to you about some of the key specs when it comes to this BE10000. Again, it is a Wi-Fi 7 device, so you do get your 2.4, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz channels. And you also do have that MILO channel for your Wi-Fi 7 devices, which basically combines all of these into a super fast highway. Really important, if you buy something today, you want it to be a little bit future-proof. And having that MILO, at least I call it MILO, it's a multi-link operation. Again, it's your super highway to the speed. Devices now do have Wi-Fi 7. The latest Samsungs do. You have a whole bunch of devices from OnePlus and other manufacturers that have Wi-Fi 7. It's backwards compatible as well. So Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5, all of that good stuff from back in the day is still going to be able to connect. But taking a look at some of the key specs that you might want to know about, let's actually take a look at the unit itself. And you can see next to my smartphone, it's pretty much just about the same height, tiny bit taller than my S24 Ultra here. So the design is really nice and modern. And one little Easter egg I want to show you guys, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You do have a little 7. So these little kind of lines that you think are just running around mismatched and whatnot actually showcase that it is a Wi-Fi 7 mesh device. Pretty cool in my opinion. Now, what sets this one apart from other devices on the market is that we do have 4 true 2.5 gig ports on the back here. Again, perfect for future-proofing yourself. A lot of devices these days are coming with a 2.5 gig port, and that again is a lot faster if you do transfers within your LAN. If you transfer from your home server to your work laptop, etc., etc., having 2.5 gig connections is going to be a lot faster. Now again, this is a consumer grade mesh system, so you're not going to find the 5 gig or even a 10 gig port, but I'm really happy to see that you have all 4 of these ports 2.5, so well done to TP-Link. You also do have a USB port on the back here, a USB 3.0 port, so if you wanted to connect a drive and kind of have your networking devices connect to that drive and share files, you could do so right here. And your WPS button to make it really easy to connect to, say, printers or whatever have you. Now, the great thing about it is as well, even the satellites, they're basically identical. So even the satellites have those same 2.5 gig ports, and you can set either one up to be the primary and the secondary. And the app is actually going to just add this by itself. I'm going to show you that once I set it up. Again, super easy. And the max you can connect to this is 200 devices. I believe I'm running about 50 to 60 at the moment, so I'm nowhere even close to that 200 device limit. I suspect a lot of people aren't even close to that 200 meg limit either. What I like about TP-Link's latest offerings is we also get a private IoT channel. It's a private network with its own separate SSID that you can have all of your smart devices connect to. And you can also isolate them from other devices, which basically means that sometimes, let's be honest, these cheaper smart devices, like your cheaper smart lights or cheaper smart bulbs or anything like that, sometimes they like to phone home and they like to report back what's on your network. Now, of course, they can't snoop and see what you're doing in terms of typing and whatnot, but they can actually scan your network, scan the MAC addresses, and send back to the mothership saying, hey, this person has XYZ connected, and this way they can kind of gather how many devices you have connected to your network, what devices you're using, etc., etc. So I like the fact that I can give just a private IoT network and I can isolate them once again, so they're not going to be able to talk back to the mothership. The IoT network is something that I really like, and again, you can have separate 5 gig and 2.4 gigahertz IoT networks, and of course you do have a separate guest network as well. So there's a lot of networks that you can get from such a small package here. So that's what I really like about TP-Link's offerings. And to be quite honest, guys, I think they're at a really good price point for everything that you're getting. Wi-Fi 7 is here. Don't buy anything that's not at least Wi-Fi 6E. We're August 15th right now. So if you're watching this later on, say you're watching this next year, 2025, don't buy anything that's not Wi-Fi 7. At the moment, if you're looking for a new device, spend a little bit extra, get Wi-Fi 7 like the BE10000 here, and you'll be set and ready to go. But let's go ahead, set it up. We're going to do some speed tests. Now, before we do that, what I like about a mesh system, I have wires running through my entire home and office, so I already have Ethernet cables going through. I already spent the time and drilled holes and did all of that nonsense. I wish I knew about these fast deco units before I did that many, many years ago. Of course, that wasn't the case many years ago, but now that we have Wi-Fi 7 technology, these two can talk to each other wirelessly. You don't have to worry about speed because they're using a private channel to kind of talk to each other and get the fastest connection possible. But if you're like me and you have wires already running, if you already have Ethernet cables running, you can just go ahead and connect a wired backhaul, which means that from the main unit, whichever one you choose as the main unit, just run a cable from here, run it through all your little doors and hallways and all of that good stuff, and then plug it into the secondary unit. And this way you'll have a reliable connection. And that's not to say the wireless, let's call it a relay mode, is not reliable, because in my testing it's super reliable. But let's be honest, nothing beats a cable, nothing beats that straight copper connection. But in any event, if you do already have wires and you wanted to run an Ethernet backhaul, this system is going to allow you to do that. I've been really impressed with the speeds. Now, I've used it solely as a wireless relay. I did not connect the Ethernet cable because I really wanted to see how Wi-Fi 7 did, because in my household at least, I'm limited to gigabit ports. I got to redo my hubs and switches and I got to upgrade it. I'm going to do that. I promise you guys. I'll probably do a video once I do. But for me to plug in a gigabit cable as a wired backhaul kind of limits the speed that I can get from this device. So I really wanted to just get the maximum speed possible. And speaking of maximum speed, I got a Plex server. I have multiple 4K content on there. I'm streaming movies to multiple TVs, all in 4K. It's my file server. It's also my DVR with an antenna connected to the roof, again through Plex. No hiccups, no drop connections, nothing at all. This is a very reliable system. And again, because you can add multiple satellites, it's basically an unlimited system for the future as well. Buy the 2-pack now or buy the 3-pack. Later on when prices drop, as they always do, you can always expand upon the system and really create that Skynet for yourself in your home. But let's go ahead. I'm going to turn it on. We're going to check out the application. But so far, this is looking to be a really nice Wi-Fi 7 device. Go ahead and download the Deco application. From there, you just have to follow the prompts, and it's really simple again. I give TP-Link a lot of credit, so let's just click on Let's Begin. Now, the 10,000 and the BE11,000 follow the same type of protocol, so let's just click on BE10,000, and then we're going to set up Open Camera to Scan, and then you need to just scan the bottom of your Deco unit. Again, scan the bottom of your main unit. So let's go ahead and do that. So click on Set Up Deco and follow the prompts. We've already connected it to my router, so we're good to go. And now we turn on Wi-Fi to find the unit, and here it is, the Deco 459A. Let's go ahead and click on that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to click on my unit and then click on Living Room. And now it's going to automatically detect my internet connection type. And now we need to create our main Wi-Fi network. Now the Deco unit's gone through the setup process, found internet, and this is your splash screen for the unit. Now to connect that second satellite, all you have to do is plug it in and the system is going to automatically connect it for you. So just to show you that, the Deco unit has just connected by itself. So you can see my Deco 4654 has automatically connected. Clicking on it, you'll see your mesh network is now ready to go. Everything is all set up. I'm just going to change the name of my second unit, and I'm going to call this one Bedroom. Click on Save. So now it's very easy to see which devices are connected to the living room and which devices are connected to the bedroom. So going back, you'll see your splash screen. Again, you can click on your clients and see all of your clients that are connected. When you click on a specific device, you have a couple options here. So you can add it to a family group. Again, you do have parental controls built into this Deco system. So if you wanted to add it to a family group, you could do that. Clicking on Connection Preference, if you don't want this device to roam between the satellites, you can choose a specific one for it to connect to each and every time. Generally, I just like to leave it on auto. I think it does a really nice job at auto. And the same goes for if you have, like, for example, my Plex server that I know is a Wi-Fi 7 device. If I want it only to connect to that 6 gigahertz channel, I can select the channel that I want that specific device to connect to. Again, it's a lot of nice little details built into these Deco systems that really help set it apart from other devices on the market. And of course, you have your high priority. So that's sort of like your QoS, your quality of service. If you have a gaming rig or you have an office rig, if you want your office computer to always connect to the internet before any other devices, that's where you'd set that high priority. And again, mesh technology, if you don't want it to roam between the 2 satellites or 3 or 4 satellites, that's what you would disable. Earlier on in the video, I mentioned that we have device isolation for that IoT network, but you also have device isolation on your main network. And I think this is a really nice feature. Again, it's just going to enable that whichever device you want to isolate, it's not going to be able to talk to other devices on your home network. So this is a nice feature because it allows you to separate that device and make sure that it's never able to connect to other devices on your network. So if you have a file server, for example, and you didn't want anyone to gain access but you, this would be a nice feature to enable. Again, I like seeing device isolation. You also can block specific devices. So again, if you just wanted that device to connect with other devices on your intranet, not your internet, this is a good way to do it, and you'll never be able to access the internet. So I like seeing that block feature right there. So again, guys, looking at all your clients, you can see all of your clients that are connected with that clients tab. Going over to security, it's kind of just gonna do a little bit of a scan, and there is a paywall if you want more control from TP-Link over your home internet, or you just want more virus protection or anything like that. For most people, though, I don't really think you have to do any of this. It's just going to scan your network and give you a little bit of tips here and there. But if you're somebody that wants to pay for stuff, you can go ahead and pay for it, and it's going to give you a little bit more peace of mind if that's what you're looking for. And again, there's a paywall. If you wanted to do Security Plus from TP-Link, there's your monthly fee, annual fee. Actually, not really all that bad. If this is something you think you guys need, it's built into their routers. Now here's parental controls. Once again, guys, if you wanted to block usage for your kids, you could go ahead and do that. So let's just go ahead and name this one kids really quickly. Just going to select an age group. Doesn't really make a difference. And then you can select the device that your kids are using. So let's just go ahead and select one just for fun. So under the parental devices, you can block specific websites there. You can block certain filters. So they will never be able to, well, never say never, am I correct? But they won't be able to find this content very easily. You also do have a bedtime feature, which I actually really like. So you can limit your kids' access to the internet. Super important so that they don't stay up at all hours of the night just trolling the web. And you do see that there is a little bit of a paywall if you wanted to upgrade to advanced parental controls. So it is a little bit of a shame that TP-Link is putting these options behind the paywall. But again, guys, for most people, you can go ahead and select the time frame every day that they won't have access to the internet. There's safe search, restricted YouTube, time limits, off time. Again, most of that is behind the paywall. A little bit sad to see that a lot of these devices are going to that paywall route, but it is what it is. And you can immediately block internet access if you wanted to. So if they act a fool, go ahead and block their internet access. Now under Deco Lab, this is where you can set up that VPN. I really like the ability to set up a VPN here. Now check my link down below for NordVPN. I'll be able to save you guys some pretty decent amount of coin, a pretty nice chunk of coin using NordVPN. And all you have to do is log in with a token. So let's go ahead and put in my credentials and I'll show you how it's going to work. Apologize for the mic. I've been having some issues with my mic, and of course it decides to play up during this video. But once you download your credentials from your NordVPN admin page, you'll be able to set it up within the TP-Link router. And once you do that, you can select which specific devices you want to use the VPN, or you can choose all of the devices to run through that VPN as well. So you get the option to choose either or, whichever is your preference when it comes to your VPN connection. And in terms of a VPN speed, super nice. Again, this is a very fast connection. I'll save you guys about 72% if you use my code down below for NordVPN, but you can see the speeds are about 160 megs down. Very respectable no matter how many devices you have connected. So NordVPN integrated into this Deco system, that's like a match made in heaven. Really a nice combination. Now for those of you that want to set up your own VPN server, this is a great way to kind of connect back to your home network when you're abroad. This Deco unit is going to allow you to set up your own VPN server. So for you guys that want to connect back to your home files from your home computers, and you also want to share that internet connection to get around restrictions while you're out and about, you can set up your own VPN server. And again, this is free, so you don't have to use Nord, you don't have to use any service like that. This is going to be your straight up secure connection between your devices and your Deco system back at your home or even your office, wherever you place this unit. So I'm really happy again that more and more devices come with a VPN client and a VPN server built in. I would like to see WireGuard, not just OpenVPN, but the speeds on OpenVPN are really good as well. And when you just want to connect back to get your YouTube Premium account or to get YouTube Premium without ads, this is a nice way to do it. So very nicely integrated with the VPN connections once again. Let's do one more speed test here. So there we go. There's the 1 gig of speed, 1.1. Again, I'm just about 4 feet away from the router, standing really close to it. Let's do one more speed test here, again about 30 feet away. So you can see even about 30 feet away, I'm still getting some really good speeds. And I'll do one more before we continue on our journey. Our upload speed is going to be about that same 120. Oh, dipped just a tiny bit. And we're going to do one more speed test here, guys. So really nice. I just hit that 1 gig speed, again, about 30 feet away. There's no real need to test the upload. It's still going to be about that 100 mark. And this is going to be about 45 feet away. And I'm still connected to my MLO network. Let's go ahead and do a refresh here. So very nice, and that's why I said Wi-Fi 7 is definitely the way to go. You get some really good speeds when paired with a Wi-Fi 7 capable device. So even though I'm about 45 feet away, you can still see I'm reaching that 800 mark. Let's continue on and see 720. Let's go ahead and do one more refresh here. So yep, there's that 800, 840. Actually, there's that gig speed. So even though I'm 40 feet away, let's kind of take a look here. I'm still on that MLO network. I'm still getting my rated speed, even going through a door. I've been really impressed with the speed of this Deco system. Even though it's a small, compact unit, the speed is definitely there. Never judge a book by its cover. This thing is packing some heat. But speaking of packing some heat, let's go back to the Deco application, and I'm going to change over from my main living room router to one of the satellites. So it's very easy to do. Let's go ahead and click on my S24 Ultra, and you can see I am connected to the living room. Let's switch that connected preference and switch it over to the bedroom here. Let's click on save. Let's just go ahead and do a refresh and see what type of speeds we're going to get connected to that satellite. Now the satellite is I'd say it's about 10 feet away from where I am right now and on a lower level, just to give you guys an idea. So the satellite is on a lower level and I'm about 10 feet away from it. So you can see the speeds have dropped to just about half. Again, it's all about the technology, guys. If you're connected to a satellite, and again, not too bad considering I'm about 10 feet away on another floor. Let me just go ahead. Now I'm standing directly above where the satellite is. Let's do one more little speed test here. So it's topping out about that 400 range. Again, whenever you're doing satellite, it is going to drop in range, but those devices on that lower level are still getting a very, very fast experience. Again, one way to eliminate this is to connect it via that wired backhaul if you wanted to do that. But I suspect most people are not going to have a wire, and that's why they choose a Deco system, a mesh system. And then finally, I just wanted to show you a straight up file transfer between my wired Ethernet laptop and my Wi-Fi 7 server that I mentioned earlier on. And you can see that I'm just about topping out at those gig speeds. So I think you're getting a very nice system when it comes to download and also when it comes to file transfer. Once I upgrade to 2.5 gig, it's going to be a whole nother story. I can guarantee you it's going to be a lot faster. But my Wi-Fi 7 server is on like a medium connection. It's not the strongest connection. It's about 4 bars out of 5. But again, I'm almost topping out that gig speed even over that wireless connection. So I'm very happy with Wi-Fi 7 on the Deco BE63. But that's really it, guys. If you have any questions about it, let me know down in the comments below. But I'm super impressed with the BE10000. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Thumbs up, subscribe, as that helps me out as well. Leave some comments if you want. I'll try and answer as many as I can. And I'll catch you in another video. I'm out.